Hi, and welcome to CSCMP's Member Mondays. I'm your host, Tim Pajak, and I'm the Membership Engagement Manager at CSCMP. Today, we're excited to have Jayant Singh, Senior Data Analyst at Flexport. Jayant is based in San Francisco and has been a member of CSCMP for about 4 months. He spent his career in a variety of data analyst and data scientist roles before joining Flexport in 2021. And notably, Jayant also holds a PhD in applied mathematics from North Dakota State University. Jayant, welcome and thank you for your CSCMP membership.
Thank you for having me, Tim. Thank you very much.
Jayant, I definitely want to spend some time talking about your current role at Flexport and what brought you there. But before we do that, how's your CSCMP membership been so far, 4 months in?
It is a new experience and mostly I will say very useful and informative. Why informative? Because I am a very avid reader of the articles and the blogs on CSCMP. Like I have a daily subscription of CSCMP Smart Brief also, which comes to my emails every day. And I'm trying to read the archives of the quarterly issue also as regularly as possible. And so I cannot think of a better source of information right now, what I'm getting from these magazines and blogs at this stage about supply chain.
That's really great to hear. I'm happy to hear that. I would say, Smart Brief is not necessarily one of the top 10 member benefits that people, mention to us, but it is one that, provides critical kind of high level information. So it's really, really great to hear that someone is really taking advantage of that. I love that. Tell me a little bit about what made you want to join CSCMP and what do you hope to gain from having the membership kind of longer term?
My first goal is to know more members of this community. I will say, like in simple terms, a good network in this area of supply chain, like people who have accomplished some good things in this area. I want to get to know them and expand my knowledge as well as network base in this supply chain and 3PL area. My first goal is that. And my second is, as I mentioned earlier, being a reader. I want to be really, I will say, almost at the front, like know what is happening in the industry on a day-to-day basis. And why is that? Because it helps me to join the dots in my work. Like, why are we doing what we are doing? Because we also are in a 3PL industry domain of Flexport. And this has means we have a link with supply chain, like very one-to-one. So what's happening in the industry is going to impact us also. So I want to see how I can use this knowledge to do my work in a better way. So these two are my main goals from this membership. First is get to know more people, and second, know the industry quite well.
We'll definitely get to know more people by having your conversation on the Member Monday feature, because folks will see it and they'll be reaching out to you, I'm sure. So it's just really smart way to go with it. Tell me about your role at Flexport a little bit and what brought you there. I know from reading your Meet a Member profile that your curiosity about the supply chain industry was sort of peaked in the midst of the pandemic.
Yeah, and that's the main reason actually, because I've been an analyst for a while now. After getting my PhD in mathematics in 2016. So I was in a bank for a couple of years, then in e-commerce industry for almost 1 year, and then in fintech for 1 year. So I've been, but all were like in roles in data as an analyst. And why is that? Because I want to derive insights. Like what is happening in the numbers there, what we see. That's why I want to keep my role throughout my career in this area only. Like, okay, be like a insightful person, find insights, be curious. Now, as for Flexport, mostly as you mentioned, just now, means around in 2021, when we heard all of these supply chain issues in the West Coast, East Coast, all around the country and in the world also actually. That's when I thought, okay, well, can we like play a role in this industry and see actually what is happening, why it is happening, and do we have some solutions? If not, can you make some better solutions? Initially, what we learned, why it is happening for sure. Like COVID was there, shut down, and like that. So not our next part is this. Despite what is happening outside in the world, do we have workarounds? Can we be more flexible and more I would say like more flexible and efficient to work properly despite these issues? And that's what kind of was my main goal to enter this domain of 3PLs at Flexport.
What kind of challenges are you facing now on the job, and how are you managing it in your role as a
Yeah.
senior data analyst?
One primary is data quality issues. To be more precise, our data lives in different silos. So a team A won't know very well how team B is going to use the same data. So that's a big issue we are facing right now. I think it is a very common problem right now in this domain, in the other companies also, as I read in the blogs and the magazines. So, and how to get around this is mostly like integration. Like maybe like a data pipelines, or a better approach. What we use is like have a dictionary to define a term in one particular way and make it more and more holistic for the whole company. That's the approach we use at our workplace, like a dictionary or like a database. I would say like a simple terms like a lookup table or like that, and get to know all the domains. Okay, this is our term. It means this. Let's stick with this and use it in the next step in a proper way. That's the approach we use. Other approach we can also use is like a data pipelines and do more automation, which what we are not there right now, to be honest.
So I wonder, since I'm talking with a data guy, working at a technology company, I mean, I think this next question is kind of a must ask, and especially based on what you just said there about the challenges. What technologies, whether it's automation, or something else, what other trends, disruptive forces, what do you see having the biggest impact on supply chains overall?
I feel automation in the warehouses should be a must to do in the next few years. What we call like WMS services. Because means I've been to a couple of warehouses in LA and Chicago. We have warehouse in LA and one in Chicago. It is very, very manual right now. Like a person has to walk in to and fro from the printer each time a new shipment comes. Get a printer, get a label, paste it, again go back. So all this time is kind of wasted. Like why can't they have like iPads or tablets to print right away at the station and put the label there only? That's like one simple solution. Second can be like robots for sure. Like nowadays we have like RAS, robot as a service, a very common term now being used. So I think WMS is a must to do in the next few years for this industry. And also it can help us with the labor issue we have right now. People are not liking their jobs right now. We have a shortage issue right now of laborers in warehouses. So how to solve them? I feel we have to go for the automation way.
Absolutely. I want to spend a little bit of time before we wrap up, just getting to know you a little bit better. And I think this will be good for helping you with that goal of growing your network. In your Meet a Member profile, we asked you to write your own question and answer, and you chose to ask about your favorite book. So I have to ask, tell me about your favorite book, Hidden Figures. Have you seen the movie? Have you read? Tell us about the book and what stood out to you.
I read the book first and then saw the movie after 2 years. Hidden Figures. Yeah. And actually, what caught my attention was the main thing was like be a man of vision. No matter where you come from a small town, village, doesn't matter. If you can work on yourself, you can reach a lot. Actually, means I know some help is required, but that thing I learned a lot. Means I knew this already, but that book kind of rang a bell in my mind of that, like be a person of vision. And second was be ready to fail. I'm sure when those ladies were there in NASA, I mean, I'm sure they had many failures there. I'm pretty sure about that. Like going to like any these big missions have too much of at have too much at stake, and they fail always. But we have to be ready to fail to go to the next step. So these two are the things which I kind of means I learned more from that book. And also in particular about Katherine Johnson, the lady who died the most recently in 2018. The other two died kind of before, Mary and Dorothy. Like I liked her way, how she moved from different, she was a math person. Then she learned coding and learned some physics also to be in demand. So like always upskills is the key nowadays. Gain more and more skills to be as much in demand in this market. So these three facts I will say rang the most to me in this book. First was you can reach any height you want, be ready to fail, and always upskill yourself.
Yeah, and there's so many parallels with supply chain too, right? I mean, you think about how many failures that we experience every day in different supply chains and have to come up with a new solution or a new fix for it. A lot of parallels there.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Well, Jayant, what's something I didn't ask you that you'd like other CSCMP members to know about you or about Flexport even?
I will say about me, values what I care about the most. Like, if I want to answer it, honesty and responsibility matter the most to me in any person or any workplace. Like performance, training, we can train people. But these two factors, I think it has to be kind of inherent or like, and I'll say like intrinsic in a person. So they matter for me a lot, actually.
Fantastic. That is all the time we have today, Jayant, and thank you so much for your membership with CSCMP. 4 months in, and we're really getting to know you. I love that. Appreciate you joining us for this edition of Member Mondays.
Thank you very much.